What's up everybody, I'm Jay Ray, and today I was going to talk to you about how to make one of these wooden lanterns. These little wooden lanterns are pretty great for decoration for either indoors or outdoors. And what you can do is put a candle inside them, and you can make these in various sizes, so you can have different sizes candles. You can have either indoor or outdoor lantern. Alright, so I wanted to make a bigger lantern than the one I just showed you, so what I did was I took two boards and glued them together side by side right here. If you're going to do this, you got to make sure that they sit together flat so there won't be any gaps when you're done. So I put the glue in there, I clamped them, and I let them sit for a couple hours in the clamps. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm come to my table saw so I can rip the boards to the width that I want it to be. And if you're going to use power tools like this, you want to make sure that you got good hearing protection and that you also got good eye protection when you're doing it. Alright, I've already got my distance set between my blade and my fence to 8 inches. That way I can make an 8-inch square out of this eventually. Alright, so now I'm over here by the thickness planner. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run this board through there several times. I'm leaving it a little bit long. That way when I run it through here, in case the edges get messed up, it won't be a problem. I can cut the piece that I want out of the center of this. Also, what this is going to do is going to make it to the thickness that I want, and it'll smooth out the front and the back side of this board at the same time. Now it's time to cut this into squares, and I want to get 2 squares that are exactly the same size, so I'm going to go ahead and do that here on my miter saw. Now I've got my 2 squares that are the same size. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these squares. I'm going to have to cut out the corner piece here. I'm going to mark it with one of the legs so that I can make it the exact size that the legs are going to be, and then I'm going to use that as my bottom piece. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I'm just lining up the edge of this board with the edge of my square, and I want to make a mark about just as long as this board on both sides. I'm going to do the same thing on the other direction. Now I've got my board marked here on the corners. Not sure if you can see that in the video, but I've got it marked for square cutouts. Now I got to get my jigsaw out and cut out these squares on the corner. Alright, now that I've got the corners cut out on this piece, I'm going to go ahead and sand it a little bit. That'll take off the rest of those pencil marks and of course make it smooth. Start off by getting some glue. I've got this glue sitting in this wire spool here because it's getting a little bit of low on the glue, so that'll allow the glue to be down here close to the tip. So be careful when you open it so you don't spill it everywhere. Just put a little bit of glue on each side here, and then we'll start by putting one of the legs on. I've got a nail gun here that I'm going to be using to help hold these legs in place while the glue dries. I'm not going to do a whole lot. I'm just going to put one nail in each leg so that it will stay in place. I've got the glue here on this spot. I'm going to go ahead and take one of my legs, set it on here, and then what I'm going to do so that I get the spacing the same on all 4 of these legs, I'm going to use my other block that I cut. I'm going to set it right next to that leg, and I'm going to use it, take that board right to the end of that board so that they're flush right here. And that'll keep my spacing the same on all 4 legs. Now that I've got it held in place there, I'm going to go ahead and use my nail gun, and I'm going to put one nail in right here in the middle of this board. Alright, now I'm going to move on and do the second leg. Now I got all 4 legs nailed on here. So I'm going to go ahead and stand this up and we'll put the top piece on. To do that, I'm going to start by putting glue on the top of all 4 of these legs. Then I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the side of these legs. I'm going to go ahead and square this up. And while I hold this square, I'm going to put 1 nail in each corner. That way this will hold together until the glue dries. Alright, so that's how you make a basic wooden lantern. And you can take these and you put a candle inside there and make a pretty nice decoration for parties, for landscaping, or just for the center of your table or whatever you might want to do. You can make these in various sizes. You can paint them, stain them, or seal them with a wood sealer. Finish them out however you like. You can put additional knobs on them, or you can make decorations in them. You can route the edges to make them look a little bit different, and just really a whole lot that you can do with these and make them your own. So here's one example of a completed and customized lantern. It has an additional wood block on the top that's just been simply cut a little bit smaller than the original piece, centered up and glued in place, and then a knob's been placed in the middle. If you've been wanting to make one of these lanterns, I hope this video helped you out. If it did, feel free to share this video with your friends and family.